What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J, and we are locked in. This is Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Episode 7. One thing we know right now, right now, is the streets need a body. Come on, y'all. Everybody put your hands up. Streets need a body. Yeah, the streets need a body. So Famous up there, he rapping, he talking big trash. He ain't did none of it, all cap. But there was a hit out for Lulu. We ain't let it go down, you know what I'm saying? Southside up in here, fight breaks out. But before we get into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and you'll be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. Now, this week we're moving forward. We know we got to meet new connects. Dean said he ain't gonna work with us, so we got to figure out how we gonna get out here. Now we know the bodega's cousin. That's the new connect. So we got to go meet with him because this is a potential new plug. But I'm not going to hold you up. Let's jump into it. This is episode 7, Raising Kanan. We start the episode off with Lulu calling Rock. She's coming out the hospital. He's like, hey, I'm here now. You know, I'm ready to make this move. But if I make this move, we're going to war. And she has to explain to Lulu at this point, we already at war. So he's about to make a move on Unique's crew. We know how they going at it, but they have mutual respect for each one of the leaders, but it's really not respect. So Lulu's about to go in there and make some things happen. You remember Kanan had the idea to sell to the white people that are getting on and off the freeway at the gas station. Well, Marvin, we know he's a mess up, but he has his own little crew out there because we know Rock's been keeping him in the house and he's been trying to get back out in these streets. So what he's doing is he's starting up his own little, his own little operation and trying to make things bubble. Because if it does good, when he brings it to Rock, it's like, see, I told you. And then she's going to accept that and he'll get more muscle and stuff out there. But that's just a tactic you do. You can prove that you can actually make things happen and then you bring it to the boss. It looks better than, hey, boss, can you give me an opportunity? So he's out here, he's making moves down by that same gas station that Kanan was talking about. Now it's time for war. Lulu put the ski mask on, grabbed a little gat, you know what I'm saying? And now he's going in here to hit one of Unique's dudes. Now he's in the room doing this thing with a little girl. Make sure when you go home with these ladies, you ain't follow. Lulu was just watching. Like, okay, he gonna be preoccupied, sneak up in there, and Lulu does Lulu things. See, Marvin was lying. Lulu was really in there letting that thing spray. Now, he missed everybody in the jam, and oh boy, he busted back a little bit, but he got up out the window. So we didn't get no kills, but he sent the message. Kanan is about to introduce his mom to Davina. We know he's been putting in that work. We know he got some action after the concert with Davina. You know what I'm saying? So my boy is not a virgin no more. Losing it early. But we also know Davina told Neek about the stash house. Davina told them where Kanan be at, where the dope be at. She didn't know that, but she did. So now he's introducing his mom to her and she's like, okay, I've been seeing you smiling. I always wanted to know who you was out here messing with. And when I feel I can't go on, you come in, hold me. It's you and me forever. Sarah, smile. My boy Symphony showed up to the dinner where they were meeting Davina. Now we know Kanan and Symphony, they have a relationship now. He's actually trusting them. He likes them. But Rocky and him, they aren't seeing eye to eye because she feels like, hey, what I got going on with my son, let that, let that be. And the reason I sang that song is because he's opening up to her and telling her how he feels. He likes Hall & Oates. I was singing Sarah Smile. That's an amazing song. If you don't know the words, fella, watch the lyrics, read it. It's a good song. But he's just telling her, hey, I really like you. I like Kanan. You know what I'm saying? We're building a relationship. So could you just come back to me, please? And, she playing hard to get. She's a little upset, but she's going to come back around. Don't worry about that. I told you, she'll come back around. They go back in. They eat their dinner. They're all having a good time, Kanan and his mom, double dates. Hey, it is what it is. And then my boy Kanan was like, oh, don't worry about it, Mom. Here goes some cash. I got it. Hey, it's time to shake the spot. Our stomachs is full. Now we trying to go do something else. You know what I mean? But Kanan's like, hey, Ma, you know what I'm saying? Let Symphony take you home. I'm going to take Davina. We're going to do our thing. We're going to find our way around. Now, me being the guy that I am, I'm thinking, hey, we got a war going on out here. People that shot at you. No, Kanan, and you with Davina. You don't even know that she's the one that told. But Jukebox tried to warn him. Hey, it may have been Davina talking to him, but he was just trying to, protect his girl, which really ain't his girl yet. They just smash him. But he's like, hey, Ma, I got you. And he throws a shot like, just because you're young doesn't mean you're young. But she pulls him to the side and was like, yeah, I was young when I had you, but don't make me a young grandmother. Well, if that's the case, then don't let this young man who's been doing everything wrong from the 6 episodes we've seen, don't let him go off with a young woman that's going to be by herself at the house, because you know what they're going to get into. Now, reality's starting to set in. Davina gets home. We know her mom is nowhere to be found. So the lady next door is like, hey, Davina, here's your little sister. You need to find your mom because you're not the mother of this kid. She needs to be here watching both of y'all. You need to be living life as a kid. But what she does bring up to Kanan is, hey, man, Famous was rapping about, I heard 4 quarters and 2 dimes talking about $1.20 like he was there. And Kanan's trying to say, man, he just lying about his rhymes. He ain't really living that. But she says, you are living that lifestyle. So she's starting to connect things together. And that's one reason why she told Unique. One is because she wanted to get help for her mom, but also she's like, maybe he has something to do with it. So the best thing to do was the streets need a body, and Davina might be one of them bodies. Eventually, we're going to have to get rid of Davina. Hey, who knows? That may be Sean's mother. What I tell you, our stomachs is full. We going back to that house. Symphony's like, man, I need some more of that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get up in that thing. But he takes it to the house, and he kind of downplays it like, we could take our time with it. Because he doesn't want to sound overly aggressive. Because, oh, you thirsty. He just wants sex. Nah, man, we in the mood. That's what we gonna do. But he's trying to slow it down. Because one thing he does know, she in that dope game. And one thing you know about these girls in a dope game, you really can't play around with them. Because, at any moment, pop, someone can come at you and get you. So be careful when you messing with these girls. Well, most of the time, they ain't really moving no weight like this. But if you ever make it up to that tier, fellas, watch out. And ladies, watch out when you messing with the dope boys like Lulu Marvin. You think it's cool because he's getting fast money, but your life is on the line every time you're out with him. And hell, and even when you by yourself, you become a target. Now, Jukebox, hey, my girl, we know she can sing. We know she don't like wearing dresses, but she has a ball to go to with Nikki. So she's looking for dresses and stuff, but she just doesn't feel comfortable in it. She's in it like, I had a suit on last night for one of the recaps I did, but I ain't trying to wear no suit all the time. Just t-shirts, all I need to be in. That's how Juke is feeling. But she's like, I gotta do this. Now, when she walks out the store, one of the ladies that work there is like, did you leave the clothes in there? Insinuating that she steals. I mean, we do know she's a stealer. We know she likes to steal clothes and sell it. So this lady, she was prejudiced, but she wasn't off. She was right. Kanan pulls up on Famous, and this conversation needed to be had. Famous is out here rapping, the streets need a body. That's not the life he lives. And one thing we know, and it's a reoccurring thing, we know that these rappers lie in their rhymes, and then when they do tell the truth, they tell it on themselves or they homeboys. 4 quarters and 2 dimes. That's $1.20. And Kanan's like, bro, Davina heard that, man. She's putting the dots together. And he's like, oh, man, I'm an artist. But he snatches them up and he lets them know, we can't be doing that. You can freestyle. You can tell a story, but don't tell a story about my life. Tell a story about what you doing. You can still make any story could be hood. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to tell a true story. But geez, you're going to get us killed out here. Kanan goes and meet up with 2 guys that are working for Marvin. Now, you seen the 2 guys that were selling the crack out of the, in the Snickers bars and stuff. Kanan is telling them, hey, that's my plan. Everything that Marvin's telling y'all to do, that's my plan. They like, man, you just a kid. Now, out of nowhere, Kanan gets tough. He's like, do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? So he's trying to use his little street cred and his mom's protection to tell them, hey, that's my plan. So that work right there, we need to step on it. We need to stretch it. And when they say stretch it, they mean put different ingredients in it to make it more. So instead of being 100% pure, they're probably down to like 10, 15% pure. So they're talking about mixing it with different laxatives and stuff just to make it seem like they have more stuff. So Kanan's like, man, give it here. I'ma cook it. Now this guy, he's like, hey man, you just a kid. You don't know what you're doing. And I keep telling y'all, Kanan messes up everything he does. So of course he goes in there, he's cooking some stuff. His mom taught him how to cook one time, and now he think he me with it. He think he can get in there and do it like me. We know that we're trying to get a connection through Julia. Now Julia is the wife at the bodega where we have the new stash at. Rock comes up there and she's talking to her like, hey, I need to meet with your cousin. But she's also telling her, hey, you know what I'm saying? Outside of your husband, I mess with you. And I told y'all last time that she's going to eventually give this lady some kind of work and let her do her own thing because she's going to get her away from the abusive husband. Now, Julia's like, all right, this is my cousin. He wants to meet you here. So I vouch for you. So right now, these two, they have a little connection. And we can see that they're going to build on and it's going to be a little bit stronger between the two because they're both women. And, you know, no one wants to see anybody get beat on. Kanan and the crew, they didn't stretch this dope out. They think they about to hit the block. Now, what they're about to do is they're going to hit the block and they're going to give away these samples. And when they give away samples is whenever you get a new batch of dope, you want to give away samples. So people be like, oh, this stuff is good. You know, it's going to keep them coming back. Hey, they gave me this for free. I'll pay for that. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay a little 10 for it because crack is going to be cheaper than Coke is. Pure Coke is expensive, but when you start mixing it, you get down to the crack. That's when you get it cheaper. You can sell it for 10 for one little rock or whatever. But we're going to give it away for free. So people know that we out here. Juke, they run into each other, her and Kanan, and she's trying to get into the house so she can have a place to change clothes for the ball. Kanan's like, a ball? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of that. We from Jamaica, Queens. We don't do all that. She's like, yeah, it's for a girl or whatever. Now, she doesn't want to get changed at her house because Marvin would be there. He'll be asking questions, and she just ain't trying to go through all that. Now, Detective Howard pulls up, and before he pulls up on him, Kanan's like, oh, man. So he daps her up. And when he dabs Juke up, they do the little exchange. And she takes the little crack rocks that he has just in case the police on some BS. You know what I'm saying? So now Juke, she has the crack on her. And Kanan got to talk to his alleged father. But I think it really is his father. Detective Howard, we know he's trying to get that bone marrow. And he's trying to figure out, hey, is Kanan my son? Because they lied about his age. But when I did the research, his alleged father, DEFCON, he's in jail, so it might be me because I did smash rock. But he's talking to Kanan, and Kanan's like, oh yeah, we don't mess with you, bro. And he says, hey, well, have you asked your mom about me? Because I knew her back when she was your age. And Kanan, he's not really talking to him because, you know, we don't talk to the police. But he wants to find out. One, because it's his son, but most importantly, he's trying to get that bone marrow because ain't nobody trying to die up in this thing. Mo Better Blues give you a Mo Better high. Now, they're giving away these samples. Two junkies get it. They go in the little room or whatever. They listen to the radio. And he's like, oh, man, dang, you hitting that dude. He's passing out over there, but he thinks he's passing out. So the other dude, oh, it's hitting like that. Now, there's two things that could happen from this. Well, actually, it's three. The first thing is, it's weak. They hit it. They don't get no kind of high. And they like, oh, man, this stuff is whack. But it was free. The second thing is, boom, we hit it. This is good. We're going to come back for more. Then there's the third thing. It's too good. They get too high because Kanan didn't know what he was doing. So they get too high and they actually die from it. Now, this can either help or it can hurt your business. There has been cases where sometimes it's killed people and people are like, oh, well, if it gets you that high, they want to do it. But then sometimes it's like it's killing people. It's killing too many people. We got to get that batch off the street because we're going to kill all our customers. And then people going to say, oh, man, that Mo Better Blues, we don't want that because it's killing people. I don't want to take that. Nikki and Levine. Now, they walk in, they talking. She's like, oh, what color is your dress? You know, she wants to know what color the dress is because they going to the ball together. She wants her to be, you know, presentable. But also, she calls her girlfriend. And Nikki's like, you never called me that before. And she was like, yeah, it's cool. Now, Nikki, she actually has a letter. And she's going to put it in Jukebox's book bag while Juke go gets them something to eat. When she does it, she opens up the zipper of the book bag and she finds the crack. Now, we just seen two junkies, two pros take this stuff and it looks like they died. Now, she has this. This can get ugly. Now, she can either A, smoke it and become a junkie, B, smoke it and die. Or C, she doesn't do it. But this is power, so we're gonna assume that she's gonna smoke this later on. But we can't blame Juke for this. Kinda gotta blame Kanan. Marvin goes and picks up Kanan, and he's upset. He has the guy that was at the table too. Kanan doesn't even get all the way in the car. He's driving off. They get to the house where they were giving out samples, and there's bodies everywhere. Everyone in here done hit this crack rock, and they are dead. They in here, eyes all in the back of their head, and they looking at this like, what happened? And now Kanan is getting scared. Kanan messed this up again. And Marvin didn't really have nothing to do with this. This one is on Kanan. He came in, thought he was a big boss, thought he knew how to cook. And he just messed up everything. He's talking about, man, we got to get this off the street. Marvin's like, hey, whatever we got left, we got to get rid of it. And do not tell your mom this. Because if your mom finds out that people are dying off of her name, then she's going to kill me and you. Marvin ain't playing around. Marvin was trying to get back in the game, and what he was doing was working, but Kanan came in and messed it up. Rock goes and meets up with Waukee. Waukee is Julia's cousin. Now, he's a very professional guy sitting there in his suit. They're watching the boxing match. He's listening to it. He's like, my cousin vouched for you. Now, I don't believe and trust my cousin's judgment when it comes to her husband because he's abusive. We all seen that. But if she's vouching for you, I mess with you. But we're not going to talk numbers here. This is just an introduction. He just wanted to get a feel out for her, and just see how she was, where her head was. But I'm not going to talk numbers with you right now because you could be anything. You could be police. All I know is my cousin knows you. We don't know nothing else about you. So he's not going to talk numbers on that first day, which he shouldn't. So he tells her, we'll see each other again. Don't worry about it because business is business. But you got to know who you're doing business with or you'll end up messed up in these streets. At the same time, Lulu, he's there being security for his sister, but he's networking also. The gentleman behind him's like, hey, my cousin, he works in Latin music. And when I pulled up to your little event, I heard the streets need a body. I like that. You know what I'm saying? The streets need a body. So this could be a connection for Lulu within his music. Because what? Famous is Spanish. So, hey, that could be a connection with the actual record companies. Back at the white people residence, we have Nikki. She's getting ready for the event tonight. She has on her pearls. She has on her nice, lovely white dress. And her mom comes in like, I'm not against interracial dating. I was probably a little bit out of line, but I just don't want you having sex at this young age because you can get pregnant. And Nikki's like, man, I'm not going to get pregnant with lesbians, And the mom, she hears lesbian and she trips out. She's like, oh, you're not a lesbian. No, you need to go on a date with this young man tonight. And and Nikki's like, you know what I'm saying? I really don't want to go on this date with this guy, but it is what it is. But she has to at least show up or leave with this gentleman because, her mom doesn't want her with Jukebox. She already said, don't come around here. I'm going to call the police. I rock with Nikki's dad because he comes in, he's always nonchalant, not knowing what's going on. Hey, what's going on in here? And Nikki's like, well, mom wants me to have sex tonight with the guy that I'm going on a date with. And the mom is like, no, I don't. And the dad's like, sex, wait, what's going on here? He never knows what's going on. There's spaghetti downstairs. You need to eat some spaghetti before you go eat because that's his favorite meal to make. Just spaghetti sauce with the noodles. No meat, no nothing. Just spaghetti sauce, dry, bland. But Nikki's dad is cool. Symphony and Rock, they've been getting it in. I'm talking about this is back-to-back nights here. My boy laying that pipe, pause. But they're sitting there talking, and when they get done, she's like, oh, I see how you are with Kanan. You'd be a good father. I'd be like, hold up. We just having sex. I'm not here to be stepdad, none of that. You know what I'm saying? You in the dope game. But she's talking about a newer baby, and then he's like, well, I don't have any kids because it would take the right woman. She's like, what about if it's with me? He's like, we could make that work. That's a smart move. You don't say no now because when you're in the house, she has full control. You don't know if she got that thing on her, none of that. But he just like, it could work. And she says, well, I'm not leaving the game right now. See, I already told y'all what this is. She in the dope game. She trying to have another kid. She want to be with you. Nah. You're going to be a target. You're going to be an easy hit. You may not be in the dope game, but you messing with the queen pin. Symphony. When you leave, start distancing yourself because, man, you don't want to be tied up in this family. Unique pulls up on Lulu. And he's like, hold on. I got it. And he pays for his meal. He buys him a sandwich. And he's like, hey, you came to my spot. Let me have a talk with you. Now they're at this diner. This diner is the safe zone. No one should be attacking anybody there. And Unique, he's like, oh, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. I'm not going to get at you. I just want to have a conversation. Now Unique, he's like, look, your sister, I know you love her. I'm going to give her a couple of months to get things right, but it's going to get ugly after that. But what I'm coming to you, Lulu, is you're actually the guy, the brains behind y'all operation. I would like that over, working with me in my corporation. Pretty much making him like a lieutenant up under him. But Lulu, he playing it cool, eating his sandwich. And one thing about Lulu, he'll work for his sister. But if he leaves his sister, he's not going to be against his sister or work for nobody against his sister. He would do his own thing. And he would still have love for his sister. And he's going to make sure his sister is straight. So he listens to everything Unique says. And he's like, you know what? I don't work with bitch ass niggas. And Unique is like, what? His boy grabs that gun. And then he's like, yeah. So pretty much F you, Unique, and F your security guard, the pussy eater. And the dude was like, that was you there? Because you remember earlier in the episode, Lulu came in there. He was trying to lay him down. Now Juke, she at the house getting ready. But the reason she didn't tell Nikki what color her dress was because she didn't get a dress. She got a suit. I told you she didn't feel comfortable in them suits. I throw my suit on. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to get fresh. But it's just for that couple of hours. But other than that, I got to be in a t-shirt, some shorts. But she's in the mirror dancing, doing the moonwalk. And Rock walks in. And she's talking to her. And she understands Jukebox more than Marvin does. It's that female relation. And she's just talking to her like, hey, be you. Nikki's lucky to be going on a date with you and to be with you. She's just giving her words of encouragement because, hey, Marvin ain't doing nothing. Marvin out here running around messing up. So at least she has some kind of guidance from her auntie, Miss Raquel. I called it. She went home. She's getting ready. Now, the boy came over. She's supposed to be taking pictures. You hear her mom downstairs. Nikki, come take these pictures. We got to take these pictures. And the dad was like, there's spaghetti down here, people. Spaghetti. But she's up here. And Jukebox gave her a mixtape before they left the park. She gave it to her like, here, I want you to listen to this when you get home. Now, we know Nikki took that crack. Nikki sits down with a pipe, hits that crack. Now, we seen what it did to those pros. Those were pro junkies, and they couldn't handle it. So we already know where this is going, and I laid it out what scenarios could go. And she hits this thing, and doom, she hits the ground. She had the door locked. She on the ground. Her mama's like, hey, open the door. But it ain't no opening the door. It ain't no opening the door. The only door that's getting open is the door to that white light at the end of the tunnel, because it's over with. Now, Kanan's sitting down with his mom. He had an eventful night. She had an eventful night. She came home, ain't taking no shower, smelling like straight sex, came down, sat next to her son. I'm like, Mom, what's that smell? But they watching TV and they get to talking. And he brings up Detective Howard saying, hey, he said I should talk to you, Mom. And she's like, about what? And he was like, oh, man, he just said he knew you from way back. And what she's doing is downplaying it because she doesn't want her son to know that she was out here giving it up to cops. You in the streets, but you smashing cops. And your daddy a cop, Kanan. But she's like, oh, don't listen to him. He's just trying to manipulate you. They just reaching. They just poking at you to try to make you feel certain ways. But he wants that bone marrow. And I'd be damned if I'm about to be walking around here and I got a son that can give me some bone marrow and my baby mama ain't tell me that that's my son and I could potentially survive by getting some bone marrow from him. Detective Howard ain't playing with y'all. He want that bone marrow. Now, Juke, she showed up. She's at the ball. She's waiting. Okay, where's Nikki gonna show up? Okay. Oh, no, that white girl ain't mine. Oh, no, that white girl ain't mine. Oh, then he took that white girl ain't mine. So she just sitting here waiting. But, hey, it ain't gonna be no ball. It ain't gonna be no two-stepping. It's gonna be some funeral and some casket carrying. That's what's gonna come. And now Nikki's parents, they gonna be on you because they gonna hear, wait a minute, there's a mixtape and it's probably gonna say from Jukebox on it or something. But it's that damn black girl. That's the only place my daughter can get some crack rock from. So it's about to be ugly. And now we have a white girl that OD'd. And one thing we know about the cops, they don't give a damn about them junkies ODing. But that white girl, a young white girl, 15, 16-year-old, and she died in a nice ball dress over some crack cocaine. Oh, they about to be cracking down. You think she smoked some crack? When these cops come and crack down on Juke and her family, oh, it's gonna be some head busting. All right, there you go. Episode 7 of Raising Kanan. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Nikki situation. Do you think they're gonna trace it back to Jukebox, and then she's gonna have to be like, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" and tell on Kanan? Or are they just gonna say, "Hey, there's crack going around, we gotta start cracking down"? Let me know what y'all think below. I'm J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.